Hello and welcome back. I have today Miss Merlyne Jean-Louis. I've been practicing to say
Said
that
it correctly. You got
correctly.
it. You got
Been
it.
practicing to say that correctly. She is one of my esteemed 2 weeks of Trademarks alums, and I'm so pleased to have her with me today to capture her case study and her story. So welcome, Merlyne. Thank you for
Thanks
being
so
here.
much for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about in such a short amount of time. So let's hop to
I'm
it.
ready.
Oh
Let's
my
go. Let's
gosh.
do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, if anyone doesn't know you, I'm not familiar with you.
Yeah,
Do you want to just introduce yourself, what you do, what you're up to?
sure. I am a business entertainment lawyer. I'm based physically out in New York, but I've been running my law firm virtually since I started in 2015. I practice, contracts, trademarks, copyright, business structure. I'm also a commentator. I've had the pleasure of being featured on Bloomberg, CBS, The Verge to discuss intellectual property as it relates to choreography. I used to be a dancer and the influencer industry because my entertainment niche is influencers, working in the influencer industry.
Love it.
I went to Duke for law school and NYU for undergrad. I'm barred both in New York and California. So that's about me. Look at you or the camera. I don't know what to look at.
Either one. Either one.
Yeah.
We love to see it. Look at you. So it's been about 7 years since you've been practicing, right? Or had
Yes.
your own practice.
In
Okay.
August next month will be 7 years.
Okay. Okay. So long enough to have a decent sampling size. And let's go back a little bit. Let's rewind. So
Yes.
at what point was it that you came across me or my material?
Right.
And then how did that happen? When
Right.
and
I
how?
want to. A friend of mine. I was working doing doc review, and a friend of mine told me about you and your courses. I think I had just started my law firm. It probably was a year out, 2016 or 17. I don't remember exactly which year. I actually took your course. I can look back. But I think I took one of you had like a webinar of some sorts. And I said, okay, this woman seems good. Because at the time I had done like one trademark or a couple. There wasn't that many that I had done. But then I was convinced, like, okay, I'm going to invest in your course. And I'm so glad I did. It's been life changing because I realized after taking your course, I'm a business lawyer, right? Every business has a trademark. Every business has a trademark. And so I didn't even think to even discuss trademarks. So before that, but now at every introductory call, consultation, trademarks, trademark. So my docket has increased exponentially.
We love to hear it. We love to
Yeah.
see it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So it's been a few years since you came across the
Right.
material.
Yeah.
And what was your first thought when you came across what I was doing? You said she seems legit, but that's always good.
Yes. Yes.
But in terms of looking at the course and just thinking
Yeah.
about, obviously it's an investment, right? Obviously,
It was,
and not
yeah.
even just financially, but of time, of energy. So did you have anything that you were hesitant about or anything that made you feel like very confident about proceeding with it?
Right. I think I didn't doubt because my friend raved about the course.
Oh, good.
So I
Okay.
knew that it would be a good course, but at the time, I was just starting out. I didn't have enough money. And so I liked the fact that you had like a payment plan. That was really cool. I don't know if you still had that, but it was great. To me, that was, okay, I need this because like at the time I didn't have enough money and it paid for itself. I don't know how many times fold. But
that is my favorite thing to hear. I love to hear that.
Yeah, because the course itself was just amazing. First of all, I thought it was very kind of you to take time out of your, to give your secret sauce away. Like not a lot of people do that. Like I think for me, someone who didn't have experience in practicing law. So my story is that I didn't graduate the job. And so I was trying to find a law firm job that everyone told me I had to have to become a successful lawyer. And after 3 years, a friend of mine put an idea in my head to start my own law firm. So I was like, all right, I'm started. I'll figure it out eventually. And your course helped me figure out a very important part of my business. It made it so much easier. It made it that more palatable. And the way you taught was just like, oh, this is easy. This is not as bad. Why is law school? You go to law school. It's like, why? It's so difficult. No, it's pretty easy. And so like, I always tell you that when I see you, when I was on your Facebook page, on your Facebook group, I'm like, she's the best. Just take the course. Don't even question it. Like, that's what I say.
Thank you. And I'm so glad to hear that because it's a real story. And that's why I love, being able to sit down with you guys one by one and capture your stories and talk about it because everybody's done something a little bit different with it. Everyone has seen results in their own way. And it's just amazing to see It's amazing to see. So as you're going through the material, you alluded to this a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about kind of the process of what it felt like to, learn this brand new material, like in a way, did you feel like it was presented in a way that was digestible? Like, could you?
Very. Absolutely digestible. So I believe you have PowerPoints. And then I was able to, in each slide, I was able to just insert my notes. And so I actually remember this year, years after taking the course, I went back because I think sometimes I had to do a design mark search. And I was like, what do I do? So I went back and looked at my notes because I looked the way I did my notes in the slides. It was very easy to find what I said and to do the search that, I don't do frequently, the design search. Right. So I thought the way you presented it was very simple.
Good.
Which is, like as lawyers, our job is to break down complex processes for our clients, and you sort of did the same for us. So I appreciate you for that.
I'm so glad. Okay, so you're going through the material, you're finding it very easy to navigate, which is good, and you're able to apply it, which is
templates too. Those templates. Oh yeah,
the templates are the money. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it was a template, right? I modified it to what I do now, but this the starting point. Like, okay, this is what the basics of what's needed, and you could have modified it accordingly. The template for the opinion letters. Oh, chef's kiss, man. Chef's kiss.
Good. Oh, that's exactly what I intended was for it to be a place to plug in and place to start. And then you can run with it. And as you develop your practice and have different niche needs, different issues come up, you can tweak it. Right. But at least you have something that's going to work. Point. For the first time. Yeah. Or the first however many times. Yeah. So you came in cold, right? So you're taking the course, you're going through the material, and you don't have any trademark work at all at the moment, right? Like you've not done any at that moment.
I did one. I think I did one or two applications. Okay. I think 2 applications I'd done, but it took me a long time to figure out to do, so much time.
Yeah.
I would say wasted, but
it's never wasted.
It took a long time. Probably the amount of time it took me to take your course. It took me that much time to figure out what to do. And I was still very scared, right? Because I wasn't sure if I did it correctly.
Yeah.
But to have, someone, an expert like yourself, give me the nuggets straight up, say, hey, this is what it is. Here's your secret sauce, was very helpful to me. Someone who didn't have much experience in trademark. I took trademark law in law school, so I had an idea of what they were, but in practice, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder why they don't show you that. Like, why are we talking about statutory this and whatever? Like, there's like 1 or 2 slides in the entire 30 something hours of the course where I show you like statutory basis. And that's the DuPont factors. You need it for that. I have to show you where it came from. But it's like, why do we spend so much time on stuff that you don't see a single statute when you're going through the application process? Like,
you don't.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. So you've done 1 or 2 and kind of very lightly, right? But you're going through the material. So what was it like in terms of going through the material and making that transition to where you're getting your first client or 2 and getting your, and really being able to implement it and get it going?
I think some of the tips you gave for conquer the consultation world was also very helpful, because again, that sort of changed my mindset, saying, oh, talk about trademarks all the time. It made me realize that whenever I have opportunity to have a client, I'm going to talk about trademarks, because it's an issue, we're issue spotting, right? As lawyers, it's an issue that which they may not even be aware. And as time went on, I used the stories of people that I met to talk about the horror stories of what happens when you don't have a trademark.
Yeah.
And so I think starting with your consultation helped me realize, okay, trademarks is super, super important to every business. They need to be aware about it and protect it. Yeah, light bulb. Thank you, Sonia.
It all comes together, right? Yeah, it all comes together where you have like the how to practice, and then you've got the like how to do a consult. I mean, you need those pieces, because otherwise it's like you're just learning to learn it,
Absolutely.
So going back a little bit, so we know your time frame of when you took the course was around like late 2018, getting into early 2019. So at the time of this recording, it's been just a little more than 3 years, which is such a short amount of time considering all that you've done in that time frame. So walk me through kind of like what that has looked like. When did you start getting your first clients? How did that momentum build up for you?
After taking your course. After your course. I'm looking back at my docket now. I had more than I thought I did. I probably had like a couple more, about probably 10. I'm estimating off the top of my head. I'm estimating 10 applications that I had on the docket already. But again, after the course, I was like, all right, I'm going to talk about trademarks every single time. Every single client I have, but a potential client I have, I'm going to talk about trademarks.
Yeah.
And as of now, you want to know the number I have now on my docket?
Sure.
141 applications on my docket. So yeah, tenfold increase, like.
So you're killing it a little.
Yeah,
oh
like, so yeah.
Oh my God, that is incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
And is it safe to say that like the course had a factor in that?
Yes.
Like, okay. I just want to make sure that can we say that? Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I never want to take, no, it's, well, I always want to be very forthright and say, you know, in any of these stories that people are seeing, that any of the interviews that I capture, like I'm not responsible for people's successes. Like you guys take it, you run with it, you implement it in your own way. And it's the level of running with it that we see, right? If you dial it up and you go all in, that's when we're seeing the results, but it is you guys that are doing it. It's every single person's effort.
Yes.
So I would never be able to, and I would never want to take credit, you know?
But it's also a teacher. I like good teachers, right? You know, I want to say I'm giving credit where credit's due, because, you know, I rave at you all the time. But because you don't, it's like seeing the light, right? Seeing the key to get to where you want to go. And it's not understanding, it's having exposure to a different idea, right? Because if I don't have any experience, if I don't have trademark experience, if I'm not working at a law firm, how would I know this? How would I know to do this? And you showed us.
Yeah. I know. And that's it's a mission that I set out to do. And it's so humbling that exactly what I wanted to do was be able to show other people I've been able to do it. And that's amazing. It's amazing.
Trademarks is, after contracts, the most lucrative part of my practice. Like,
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Did you, you know, obviously you felt more confident and you had the substantive knowledge, but, you know, people always want to ask, and this always comes up as far as like the marketing conversation, right? Like, did you have any trouble getting off the ground in marketing, or like how did you kind of go about that process? Cause I think that intimidates a lot of people, is like, oh, not only how to do it, but how am I going to get clients? Like, how am I going to do it?
I've been blogging since 2016. And so I think a lot of I don't say most, but a lot of my blogs are about trademarks. And so I go look at a story in public, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about it on a blog. And actually, one of my most popular blog posts, I went to go buy makeup when Fenty Beauty by Rihanna had just first come out. And I noticed that it didn't have the R symbol, the registered R symbol. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna write about this. Like, what's the process? Wow, I'm going to educate people as to why this is not the case, right?
Yeah.
And so I did that. And now when you Google Fenty Beauty trademark or Fenty trademark, my blog post that I wrote out of the whim, out of the blue, just like, you know.
That is genius.
First page. So just talk about, you know, things. Talk about, you know, normal things and breaking them down on my blog. My blog has probably been my most useful thing, because with the blog post, I can, like, you know, use that social media, like have my social media assistant, like, you know, create blog posts based off what I wrote. So trademarks are probably my favorite topics to blog about.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know, marketing is constantly telling people what you do.
Yeah.
Because all the time.
That's all it is. Yeah.
It is. Because you think you're screaming to the world. You think you're like saying too much. No.
People, it's one fraction of it is sticking.
Yeah. I was like, I had a client of mine, like, didn't know that I formed entities. I'm like, I'm not doing a good job if my own clients don't know what I do. Like, this is a problem.
Yeah. You're like, do you read anything that I put out? Like,
so yeah. So I was like, all right, I gotta do more. I gotta do more. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like marketing wasn't an issue for you just because you had been doing it.
I have been doing it before,
for a while. Okay. And so you're getting the inquiries, and now you're kind of being able to put the pieces together as far as, okay, people are asking about it, give a consultation, obviously carry out the process. If you're comfortable, can we chat about revenue a little bit, maybe? Even generally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm like multiple six figures now.
I mean, let's share with the people. I mean, like, again, we don't have to get into specifics if you don't feel comfortable. And I never want to get too nosy. So as general or as much as you want to, you know, get in, I just want to give people an idea of what your trajectory, you know, anybody's trajectory can look like, you know? So as far as trademarks go, you're kind of like, you know, first couple, right? Like maybe a couple $1,000s of like one or two trademarks, right? Or a couple $100.
Right.
No, it'd be a couple thousand.
I don't charge flat rate. Just to be clear, I don't charge flat rate. I do hourly. So
you do hourly. Okay.
I do hourly because based on percentage wise, based on my other practice, because contracts is the bulk of what I do. So that's why I sort of like base it. So I'm probably a little different than anyone else in terms of how I charge for trademarks.
No, that's helpful to know for people to that it can look a little different depending on how they want to structure it.
Yeah.
So what would you say as far as, and you said it's like tenfold as far as the number of trademarks you've been able to do in the last couple of years. What would you say the impact in increasing your revenue has been?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm trying to think 2018, I probably say by this point it's doubled, 2.5 maybe times revenue.
Wow.
Than what I was before. Okay,
that's incredible, Merlyne.
It's great. I'm able to get associate. I've had able to get more assistants, and no, it's great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
2.5 times.
Yeah.
Just like shook it. This is just incredible. Incredible. And, you know, I know you're a traveler like me. I know you are a free spirit like I am. So talk to me about, step away from the revenue a little bit because, you know, you and I are friends offline. So, you know, we've had our chats about how money is something, but it's not everything. Right. And it helps a lot, like in lots of ways, but talk to me about just the positive impact and how your life has changed outside of just the revenue, right? Like you said, you're able to delegate more, which is, you know, get some more free time, but walk me through kind of like how your life has changed the last couple of years.
I can tell you a lot how my life has changed because I didn't have a job after law school. So I was in a lot of debt. I mean, I still have a law school loan, so it is what it is. But I wasn't able, I went to a regular law school too. So I was like sort of taking it back, like, wait, why can't I have the lifestyle that I want? Why can't I do this? And through this more revenue for my law firm, I've been able to travel. I've been able to go to all over the world. I'm happy. Like, you know, I'm living the life. To be honest though, having my own law firm was not something I actually imagined I would do. My goal was to go to a big law firm and work for Al Neely because I was a dancer. Like, that was the goal. But I have a life now and I have a practice that allows me to help so many people, to help the creative person that I want to help. And to be happy what I'm doing. Like I work hard, but I play hard too. So I'm able to spend time with my friends. Yesterday I went to, like, you know, last Wednesday I went to the beach. Like, you know, I was like, work is gonna, work is gonna take a pause. I'm gonna go to the beach because it's 90 degrees outside. I'm going to go to the beach. And that, you know, having practice, being your own boss, makes that possible. You know, I don't have the boss. So
that's amazing. And you're just coming back from a pretty long trip to Bali. Tell me about that.
Oh, Bali was amazing. Oh.
How long did you go for? What all did you do?
Yeah, so 10 days. It was 10 days. I spent a week in Bali because of travel time, you know, like a week in Bali. Not enough time to be in Bali, but amazing time. Beaches, beautiful temples, great food, great people. Like, it was just, I love traveling. It's just a great thing.
It's the best. Yeah. And what was it like knowing that you could either be hands off or like minimal hands on while you're, you know, around across the world?
Yeah. Both my associate and I, we basically closed down the office. We'll be fine. We're told, you're like, hey, we'll be back when we get back. You'll be okay. And
everything's running just fine without you. Like, it's just fine. Just fine. Did you ever dream as a law student or graduating that you could just go to Bali for 10 days and just everything's cool? There's nobody breathing down your neck. There's no problems. There's no fires to put out.
Right. So prior to going to law school, I would probably go to a big law firm. So I knew what the culture was like. I knew what the culture would be like. And I know what the associates went through. So I was like, I never even thought about that. No, I never thought. I was like, okay, it's going to be, you know, hard for a couple of years, grinding for a couple of years. And then when I become in-house counsel, I'll be fine. I'll have more time. But even in-house counsel, they work really hard too. So like, I mean, everyone works hard. If you're
everybody works hard. Yeah.
You know, but like to have that freedom to just, like, you know, take my trips when I want to, like, you know, go to the beach, go to, you know, yesterday I went to like a street market, a food market, you know?
Yeah.
So it's great.
You're living the dream.
I am.
It is. It's everybody's dream or most people's dream when they think about what their life could look like, right? Run a business, do what they want when they want to do it. And then step away from it if they want to on a Wednesday, right? The beach on a Wednesday, just because.
Yep.
Wow. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So you're happier, you're thriving, you're glowing, life is good. So what's on the horizon for you? What's next? I mean, it's as much as you've done, it's been such a short time. So there's obviously, and you're so ambitious. I know you personally, so I know you're so ambitious. So what's on the horizon? What's next? What are you working toward?
I need to nurture I have another business where I'm teaching lawyers how to start their own virtual law firms because for me, it was just so, I'm a firm believer that we work so hard to get where we are that we deserve to live the life we want to.
Absolutely.
Whether that be, you know, like you said, having your law firm or, you know, doing something else. But like, so I know that for me, I had to not only teach myself how to practice law, how to do contracts. You taught me how to do trademarks. Thank you for that. How to figure out how to form businesses. I learned that on my own, but
Yeah.
I also learned how to run a business. And like, I'm like, those things are both difficult to do. So I was like, I'm going to take this part of learning how to run a business and give all my nuggets. Like, the same way you inspired me too. Like, you gave your nuggets away.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to do that. Like,
Yeah.
and so like, I would give my nuggets away so someone doesn't make the same mistakes I did. I made costly mistakes. And so I'm teaching lawyers how to start their own virtual law firms. So
love it. Yes. Okay. So I wanted to get into, so tell everybody about what you offer, what it includes. Yeah. Tell everybody, because you never know. Someone might be listening, it may be a fit for them.
Yeah. So it's called the Game Academy for Lawyers, inspired from my own experience of not having business knowledge when I started my law firm, and wishing that someone would have helped me. I mean, I took different resources and took a lot of time to learn how to run a business, but inspired by your course, your 2 weeks of trademarks, just a quick way for someone to get nuggets from someone who's been practicing for years, right? You've been practicing at that point for, I don't know, like 5 years at that point, I think, when you did your course. When I took your course?
When you did the course, I had been practicing for 7
years. And so like, to get that knowledge from someone who practiced for 7 years in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it took me to look at the course, priceless, like literally, like priceless. And so I'm doing the same concept, and just teaching you everything I know in terms of in terms of marketing, in terms of website, giving you everything that I know that I've learned in these past 7 years running my own law firm.
Love it.
I offer a strategy session if you want to just talk one-on-one for about for an hour or two, but I also have my course. It's called Virtually Perfect Practice. And I'm starting to decide whether to do consulting. I do have that on the one-on-one consulting, but the main thing is my course. The course is amazing because you have just all that stuff. You have the course, you have templates, but you also have coaching on the side too. You also every month we have a call that you can ask questions. Just that's what's about. And yeah, that's what it's about.
That's awesome. And so you're really just showcasing, and cutting short what all the mistakes are, and that you don't have to make them because you're and it's exactly it's exactly what I did is
costly mistakes, and I deserve to make some mistakes, right? I mean, I deserve to. I didn't deserve to benefit from my mistakes, and so I learned from them. I want other people to learn from them too.
I love that. We'll drop a link below in the description of the video so that people can access the program if they're interested. So we'll get that from you when we wrap up. So no rush. But I am just loving hearing your story. I mean, I was so excited to capture it because I knew how genuine it was. I knew how authentic it was. And it's been a joy for me as like the big sis auntie, because I've like seen you grow up within Trademarks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at you go. Look at you go.
No, I really appreciate so proud of you. Oh, thank you. I mean, because you just changed so many people's lives. And I mean, I hope you know that. Like, you really did, and it's just so, it's not many lawyers you meet like that, who are genuinely really nice people and care about other people the way you do. So I'm so happy to have met you. Call your friend.
It's the pleasure of my career. I mean, I say this famously. I started teaching because I was longing for, a fulfillment that I wasn't getting quite through just straight practice. And, you have this like nurturing kind of like almost maternal something that's happening. And I was like trying to figure out a way to like quench that. And I realized that like, I never dreamed at all of having my own practice, much less leading a practice area, like much less leading a community, but being the mother hen of this group and this community has just been, it's been the pleasure of my career. Cause I'm like, wow, like it just gives you so much fulfillment to know that. Yeah.
And the group, the Facebook group. Oh my God. I forget about that.
That's okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Like I literally, whenever I have a question, I go and search for it first before asking it. Like that group is made up of comprised of so many nice people as well, who take time out of their day to give us, answers to our questions. Like you don't have to do that. People like Eric Pelton, who's like your OG, like you've worked in the USPTO office, but how often do you have? I literally asked a question 2 weeks ago. He responded to it. I'm like, wow, I didn't even respond to it, but thank you.
Yeah.
So love that group.
It's crazy. And it's a testament to the practice area. I think this practice area breeds happy lawyers because it's a happy area of law, right? Like generally it's low drama. It's not, we don't have clients that are upset or problematic in any way. And that bleeds through to our mentality and our lifestyle where we're just happier.
And we know there's some efficiency, right? We know that every client's not meant for us. So we're not gonna be like, okay, like no, like every client is meant for me. I'm dating them, right? Like it's trying a relationship. it's not gonna happen. So like, I think it's very like, we all know there's plenty of fish in the sea for it comes to clients. And so
I think that's why everyone is so giving with their knowledge. And you're right. I mean, he's an OG. I mean, from being, examiner back in the 90s. And so fun fact, we actually just wrapped up a reteach and we replaced all the modules with like, brand new videos. And he was one of my guest speakers. I also had Rachel Dixon, who is, she resigned only a year ago. And so she did a whole insider tips session.
Nice.
Which by the way, you should watch because you get free access as an alum. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah.
I know that, but I've just been so busy.
But it's there forever, right? So you have it. And so that's the beautiful thing is you have lifetime access to the old stuff, the new stuff, and we always want to keep. But that was so cool to be able to have both of them jump on this time. It was really good. It was really good.
Cannot wait.
Phenomenal. I had an all-star lineup of guest speakers, people to jump in and help kind of give a different perspective. Because I think that's always important, and I can lead the discussion and I can share what's worked for me. And it's one formula. But it's never the only way, right? You can do it. So it can look so many ways. And so I like having alternate perspectives. And I think people really enjoyed the reteach. And, so if you're watching this later, chances are that's what you'll be enrolling in, is seeing the live reteach. So you won't see the old stuff, and it's just new, better, faster, stronger stuff. So Eric is absolutely amazing. He's been a friend, a colleague, a mentor, all the things for years. And, and now we're business partners, which is crazy. Yay! We teach together. So who knew? He jokes too. He's just like, nobody ever thought that like little Sonia back then, asking me for coffee to like get his advice. I know. It's like so funny. It's all full circle. So
amazing.
I think
that you deserve all the success.
Thank you. And so do you. You're such a hard worker.
Someone as genuinely nice as you deserves. I'm a big fan of karma. So someone as genuinely as nice as you deserves everything that comes to you.
Thank you. That means a lot. And likewise, you're so ambitious and you're so hardworking. And just watching you pound pavement, literally, to create what you've done, I'm just like, damn, she's really like, you deserve it. And it's not a coincidence, right? And I say this famously about being an instructor, being a teacher, right? Like I can put out as much material. I mean, I literally screen share, like I can show you anything, but it has to be implemented and it has to be done from the student, from the person. And, watching that, and it's no surprise that you've had the results you've had. And this is only the beginning. So it's like, it's only up from here, right? I mean, if this is your worst, like if these are your worst few years in business, and they always say it's like the hardest in the beginning. I'm like, look at you go. Like I can't wait to come back in a couple of years and do like, keep checking in with you guys and just see where you are. So being mindful of your schedule and your time, and you've spent so much time with me and sharing your story. So thank you. I have one last question, which you've alluded to, but just in case anybody's watching, they've come across and maybe they're on the fence. They're not sure about either me in the course or just the practice area in general. What would you say to this person who's just trying to think about if it's right for them?
I would say, first off, if you're doubting yourself, don't. I think if you went to law school and you passed the bar, you could practice law and you could practice trademarks.
Agreed.
You've got this, because I don't think many people have positivity spoken into them. Like I think law school does a good job of trying to break you down.
I know.
Like you do a good job of building people up. And I wanted to do the same thing as you. Like, you got this. Like, don't doubt yourself. You got this. Number two, take the course. Like I literally, like all the time when someone asks a question in your group about taking the course, I'm like, take it. The cost will pay for itself. Like you will get the trademarks. Like you will pay for itself.
Right. Yeah. 120 trademarks later.
Yeah. Just totally do it.
Yeah.
And what else can I say? I mean, the group is amazing. Like the trademark, the community you fostered, what was it, like over 2K now, 2 point something K?
We're almost at 3,000.
Wow.
Okay. At the time of this recording, it's almost at 3,000.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow.
Like 2,800 or something. I don't know. I don't have a number at the moment, but it's crazy.
It's just the community you fostered is just simply amazing. And I'm forever grateful for you for having the course. Literally for changing my life. Like seriously, like I don't know if I still would have been practiced if I didn't think about the things. Like you just try to change my mindset of how I approach the practice of law. Like, seriously, so like it's a business. I don't think if I realized it was a business, but like at that point, but like I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the game I'm playing. Let's do this. So thank you.
I'm so no, that just makes me so happy because you're right. Like it's just none of this was taught to us, and I learned the hard way. it dawned on me. I was like, we are no different than Starbucks. Like we sell legal services, they sell coffee. And once you think about it like that, the game changes.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. It's no one's fault because it's just not taught to us.
We don't think that way. We're not taught that way. But no, but thank you for, again, you're an inspiration for me to think about my course. Like I'm like,
I love that you've spun it in different directions. I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing. So if you're interested in Merlyne's program, we'll have that link for you in the chat, or not in the chat, excuse me, the caption. Not enough coffee, obviously. But thank you. And if people want to reach out to you, connect with you, what's the best way?
Yeah, you can hit me up. Let me see. I guess my Instagram is Wizard Lawyer, because my name is Merlyne, like the wizard, and I'm a lawyer. My email address is mjeanlouis, so MJEAN LOUIS @JLlaw.net. Gambitlawyers.com. Gambit Lawyers. Gambit means something that's risky, a risky step that's taken to get an advantage, and that's exactly what it's like to start your law firm. So that's
exactly. It couldn't be a better name.
Thank you, man.
I love it.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on all your successes. Thank you. As I always say, may this be your worst year in business, and it's only up from here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for letting me capture your story.
Thank you.
Bye.